myself. There we go.
Oh,
We're back and live once again. We have about half the cast. Not about, we actually do. But that's to be expected. We've had vacations, illness, and bike stuff, or whatever it was that Derek was doing. Um, but we have the rest of us here, so we're going to improvise something and put something together for the other members of the legacy. So before we begin, we actually did not have a game last week, so we need somebody to roll karma for us.
go for it, Dale. You are a roller.
Okay. 1d10. 6. All right. So 6 times that. So that means we've just earned 1,800 karma for this month. Let me add to that here. Should have been slightly more prepared. La, 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 la.
That's okay.
So many notes. Wow. Okay, so we have that. Okay, so we're able to replenish the group available. That's back at 500. And we add the rest to what we've got. And now our group bank is up to 5,805 karma.
Nice.
Jerome, I'm going to upload a new character sheet to you. Nothing's changed from the last one I gave you when I did my XP expenditure.
Mm-hmm.
But when we purchased True Sight for Heat Phantom, I selected that it was always active, but I didn't put that down on the sheet. So I'm just going to update a new sheet to you that has that notation.
That update. Okay.
Yep.
Okie doke. So with the karma taking taking out of the way, or is now it's out of the way. We need somebody to give us a recap of last game because it's been a hot minute.
I don't know who took notes last.
Yeah, it was George.
I was going to say I'm pretty sure whoever took notes is not here.
He's not here. Yeah, I can go ahead and recap it for George in his absence. Let's see. So last time, Hyperion had made a conduit due to some side RP, so now we have a conduit that leads to the Haven Institute. That's handy. And the forge has been completed.
Okay.
We met back at the home base. Lightbringer acquired some arcade cabinets. Defender, Gorf, Mr. and Mrs. Pac-Man, and Tron. Pulsar checked his home, his actual home, and chatted with his neighbor Ted. Ted wanted Pulsar to go to a neighborhood watch type of thing. And Pulsar found out through Compass that Ted really is human because he had his doubts. And then Hyperion gave a tour of the new forge. It's a very large, automation facility. That'll be very helpful. And plans on using that to reverse engineer the 2 hyperboats that we bought to make the 1 new hyperboat that Ixion will be piloting.
Okay.
And with regard to that, there were 10 items that were proposed for the hyperboat, and found out that due to time constraints, we could only do 5. So we all discussed which ones to do and chose the 5 that would make it the best boat for racing specifically. Speed, power, maneuverability, all that stuff. So we have the Forge working on that, and found out that Pulsar's next fight was the next day at Zuabos, and he's going to be playing the villain character. Then Lightbringer let us know that Tavaxian had joined the Haven Institute, who has psychokinetic powers that interested Hyperion because of the implications of the mutation phenomenon in different species throughout the galaxy. Turns out Pound Cake has graduated. Lightbringer hopes to bring her to Strongford at some point. Lightbringer also shared that, or shared with Meredith her premonitions about Electrum being possibly alive somewhere, and that triggered Meredith to tell Lightbringer about this pocket dimension that Electrum had written about in like journals that he had that Meredith had access to, and that may be where the remaining Dexamites who didn't die from the Dexamite collapse went off to. And they might be there right now. Let's see. Heat Phantom hunted down some cheeseburgers. Let's see here. Pulsar did some wrestling practice, and then Lightbringer and Sledgehammer were making T-shirts for the fight that was upcoming. Let's see here. And Sledgehammer, turns out he has that type of wrestling history and had some outfits from himself and others who didn't need theirs anymore, apparently. And went ahead and gave one of those to Pulsar. It is not flattering, but that's the point. And so then we went ahead and went to the fight the next day. Bone Splitter was Pulsar's opponent. He was a Gaxian who had the ability to separate himself into 4 separate Gaxians that could all coordinate their moves. So it became a 4-against-1 battle. It was pretty intense. It was pretty close. But, of course, Pulsar won, pounded the pulp out of him, and regenerated to full health because that's what he does. And he won 2,000 credits for that. And much to Pulsar's dismay, he's going to have to keep wearing that outfit because apparently it just really works for him being the heel. And because of all that, George won the RP vote. And that was last game.
Okie doke. So that's where we know where everybody is at as of this point. I will leave it up to you how you're going to segue into today's game or tonight's game and what it is you're wanting to do.
So at this point, Hyperion probably would have been finishing up creating a new equipper, those things that let us like hold information and more importantly, like objects in like a quantum space. And he's got one of those where he can actually he's making it so that he can plug it into his Dexamite port in his back. So that's where he like places it, and what gives it some extra juice. And as he's trying to put finishing touches on that, he goes, Hyperion to Shone. How are you doing with the sword you're creating?
Yeah, I'm actually putting the finishing touches as we speak. It should be ready to go into the forge when you're ready for it.
Excellent.
Did you figure out the software to connect it to your internals?
I'm creating what will be a type of quantum scabbard for the sword, and I've plugged it into, or I'm planning on plugging it into, my Dexamite port that I have at the base of my neck. That should actually work for holding it and any other items that I need without getting in the way, and it protects the port from anything trying to infiltrate if that should ever happen in the future.
That's actually a good idea. I should have thought that myself. But yeah, hey, let me just put my last of my notes on here and I'll bring them over to you.
Excellent.
Jerome, do you want me to roll anything
For what?
for because they're creating this new weapon?
What's your part in it?
Well, she's the one that came up with the idea. She approached Hyperion We did that in our little side
Mhm.
RP. About creating him a energy pulse like weapon, like a sonic pulse.
So you
Um,
came up with the plans then,
yeah,
or
she
the
came up
okay.
with the plan. Yeah,
So
and
you're
she
gonna need to roll your reason, and then if there's an applicable skill,
it
then
would
it'll bump it up one column shift.
yeah, because she's got engineering and she has got she's got weapon engineering and she's got energy and particle psych
Physics.
physics. Sorry, um, it is a psych for her. So do I use both of them or
No,
should I just choose one? Just
just
one.
weapon.
So just down one column shift.
Well,
Up one
boot.
column shift.
Yeah,
Oh, up
boosts you
one column shift.
one column
Okay,
shift. Yeah.
so if it's amazing, it goes up
MN
to
75.
75. Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. Okay. Where is rolls? I think this is the one I always remember. Well, I thought I remembered.
Just don't have the space between roll and then.
Oh, that's right. Red feet.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice. I think it's made.
So you have no problem designing the plan. It's just up to Hyperion to roll to make it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, once she comes by, I'll take the plans and I'll actually go ahead and take that and put that into the forge so that it's queued up to, like, after it's done making the prototype boat, it'll then create his sonic sword.
Okay.
And so once he uploads those plans, then turns to her and goes, "Excellent, thank you. That should work quite well. The forge will be capable of creating the metacarbon fiber and attaching it to the base of what you've created. I'm excited to see what'll come out from it."
I am too. This is something I've been mulling around in my head since you made the weapon for Red Arrow.
Mm.
So I'm glad it finally came to fruition and gives you a little bit more edge as well.
Literally.
Yes, literally.
Speaking of edges, have you put any additional thought or plans into interacting with Heliopolins?
Yeah. I took in what you said and given it a lot of thought. And I've talked with Heat Fanton about it as well. In fact, I was going to see if you two wanted to take a short road trip.
Would we be going to Egypt then?
Yes, because that's where the professor and another family member is actually at.
Have you been in contact with them ever since you joined us?
Um, so they know I'm here. I'm sure they've seen me, especially during that fight that we had with what's his face,
Tyrex the
um,
Tyrant.
that one. And so I'm sure that they are aware of it. I don't know why Sobek didn't say anything about what was happening. Maybe he was trying to shield me from it or keep me from leaving and being wrapped up in that. I don't know. He's always kind of looked after me like a big brother would. He's the reason why I'm over here because after my mother was murdered, he got me out to keep me from following in her demise.
So Sobek is a fellow Heliopolin then.
He is a lesser god of the Nile. He served under my mother. who was who was a goddess of the Nile.
You mentioned lesser god. Was there a type of caste system amongst
Oh
your
yeah,
civilization?
yeah. You had your major ones, like Ra and Isis, um, and then you had smaller ones like Sebek, who just weren't as powerful.
Hmm.
It's kind of like me. I'm like the third tier, being like a demi. Um, I'm at the very bottom of the rung.
What were these classifications for? Just a chain of command or something else?
Kinda, if you want to think of it that way. Level of respect. Think of a monarchy. Um, you have, just like in the Egyptian times, you had your pharaoh who was at the top. That was Ra, and then you had the ones that surrounded him um, be more like nobles, and then you had your knights and then you had me.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean there is a tier.
I
You're
simply,
born into that caste. It doesn't change.
I see. Was that, did that have any particular reason to exist? Like for financial reasons? Did you have an economy throughout Heliopolis?
Oh, of course. Just like every other civilization.
Hmm.
It's just that Ra I don't even know if he still exists. I mean, it makes
Right.
me think he's not because of all the chaos. But I mean, he was at the head of it. We all worshipped him.
I see. Then it is a mystery what could have possibly supplanted your race. We know just a little bit with regard to Lightbringer's original premonition about it, but nothing further.
Yeah.
Do you think that Sobek and any other contacts you have are still where they were?
Sobek, yes, Sobek stays at his station. He wasn't going anywhere because if I needed him, he was available. But he is in Cairo with actually Professor Cairo Hassan. Um, he's an Egyptologist that Sobek introduced me to and got me established here before I came to the States.
It sounds like an excellent first stepping stone. Let's see if Heat
Yeah,
Phantom is available.
they would be the ones that probably could give us the most information.
So Matt, where would Heat Phantom be? Like in the morning time? Would he be at the vein or somewhere else?
Um, since I missed the ending of the last game, I'm not quite sure where things wrapped up as far as generalities. But Heat Phantom doesn't have anywhere else to go from the vein at this time,
Okay.
unless he's going back to New Prussia. So it sounds like that didn't happen. So he'd be at the vein.
Okay. Then he'd walk with Shone over to like, say you're in the kitchen or something. Be like, Vasily, we were wondering if you'd be available for a field trip.
A field trip, you say? Um,
Ever
which
wanted
field would we be going to?
ever wanted to visit Egypt?
I cannot speak about that. Need to know.
Oh, really?
Fascinating.
Well, um, though Egypt is classified, do you still want to go?
I do not believe my previous excursions prohibit me from visiting there now. So yes, I suppose I would like to go.
Excursions. I feel that there is a story to be told.
I just said that I could not tell you any such stories if they existed.
Oh, yeah, but we all know they exist. But I won't press. Um, how about we leave in a couple of hours? That'll give me some time to work on my chain lightning before we take off.
Excellent.
Which kind of trip is this? Are we expecting difficulty, or is this
I hope
vacation?
not. Well, it's not really a vacation, and I hope we're not. Um, as you know, history. My people were in control of Egypt a very long time ago. Um, my people were the Egyptians' gods, and so we still have some footing there. Um, I
I,
have I have a
I
family member there, and I have a contact over at the Cairo Museum.
I actually did not know this, but
Yeah, a long time ago, humans worshipped my people when they were earthbound.
It turns out that there are multiple pantheonic races, like what you and others were pretending to be while we're traveling throughout the cosmos. And each pantheon is literally from a different world, possibly an alternate dimension. Hers is Heliopolis. But you might remember there was that premonition that her sister had, where it seemed that her people were being attacked by beings that were flooding into their realm. Therefore, we're trying to find out what exactly happened to them, what forced them from that realm. It seems the best first stepping stone would be her contacts in Egypt.
Perfect.
so we are perchance anticipating trying to uh, insert ourselves into the conflict and help prevent this disaster.
Unfortunately, the disaster has already happened. I came across some of Heliopolins on the planet when that we were at. They're refugees, just like our brothers, people, Ixion.
This will effectively be a fact finding mission to determine if there's anything we can find out about what exactly attacked their people, the Heliopolins, and forced them to flee their own realm.
And if there are chances that other pantheons are at the same risk as mine was, if there's a way that we can prevent the others from falling under this disaster, it would actually go a long ways for us with them if we ever need their assistance. Since we are now in space travel, it would benefit us, of course.
Fair point.
So, no imminent conflict, but be prepared.
You always. I don't expect any, but that doesn't mean it couldn't happen. Um, I don't know if I told you that I am not well liked among my people because of the caste I was born into. I'm considered an abomination.
Because of your mixture of genetics with Electrum.
Exactly. I'm not a purebred.
Hmm. Good to
And
know.
they are very uppity with that. It's not like the Greek where they all fraternized. Didn't matter what race they were. Ours was very close knitted.
It is not uncommon among many cultures for genetic purity to be a prime trait that they encourage.
Yeah. I don't think it's as prominent here on Earth, but yes, there are other races out there that look down on mixed cultures.
All right. Then in 2 hours, we'll head out.
Yeah. Jerome, I'd like to roll my
Parasite?
my power stunt.
Go
So,
ahead.
chain lightning, that would be electrical manipulation. So that's I just roll what my electrical manipulation is, right? EX20.
What was the power center you're attempting to do?
Chain lightning.
Then it's based off of your generation.
Oh, my generation. Oh, okay. AM50. That's even better. Okay. Come on, green or yellow. Oops. Let me make sure that's capitalized. What am I hitting? I'm hitting every key except for the one I want. God gracious. Oh, got a yellow feet. So now I just need 3 green. Yay!
Nice.
I'm so close. Okay. So she went to work out in the danger room.
Okay. So how is everybody getting to Egypt?
Poof.
You're gonna teleport?
Yeah, she knows. She would know where she's going. It would be the same place that, um, just outside of Cairo, where Sobek poofed her into this world.
Okay. Um, so you go from, well, let's say it was morning time. So, one moment. It's early evening in Cairo, Egypt, currently.
Yeah, so they would be about like 10 miles outside of city limits, where they would poof.
So you were standing amongst a lot of sand,
Mhm.
some roads, and in the distance, the light of Cairo.
Not sure if they would see the pyramids from there, but maybe. Okay, so poof, you guys deal with your motion sickness.
How are you guys dressed?
Modern. She is very much modern. She's not in her uniform. Is in her thingamajig.
So casual clothing, secret identities.
Mhm.
Cool.
Mhm.
Okie doke.
Yeah.
And with a slant towards, since they knew they were going to the desert, a slant towards being comfortable in desert environments.
Okay.
Mhm.
So lighter clothing.
Right, lightweight,
Mhm.
lighter color. Um,
Sounds good.
Yep, they're just tourists.
Well, I mean, you're standing out in the desert. It's up to you guys to do what it you're going to do from here.
Well, they would definitely have to walk in.
So, what should we expect from those that you know? How do they act?
yes. Are they expecting us?
No,
Have you apprised them of our?
no.
Ah,
Um, I just felt it was better to just kind of show up. Um, I think it would be best to get some lodging for tonight. and go to the museum in the morning
All right.
to see the professor. I probably should call the head. I don't know if he's on a dig site. I didn't think about that.
If he's not at the museum tomorrow, I'm sure somebody there will at least have some information about him.
Yeah.
Would anybody else here recognize you?
No, probably not. I don't even think his assistant would remember me. I didn't have a whole lot of interaction with them. I
I
never
see.
did really ask the professor what his connection to our people were, besides being an Egyptologist. Um, because he's very aware of our existence.
Hmm,
It
I see.
wasn't a time for me to really sit down and get to know the man very well.
Why was that? Out of curiosity, you felt you had some sort of deadline?
Well, I was pretty much on the run, and there was just an urgency to get me a false identity and not to stay in Egypt because that would have been the most obvious place to look for somebody. So the States is where I ended up at, and you guys found me about a month later.
Interesting.
I just had very little information about Electron and
Electrum.
Electrum.
Yeah.
Electron. I know. But yeah, and I was just going off the very little information I had from my mom's um you guys call them a diary, but that's all I had.
And the rest, as they say, is history.
Mhm.
All right, then. Well, let's start making our way into town, get lodging. We'll see if we're running into a language barrier, but we should be able to clear that if we do.
Yeah. I can definitely help in that area because well, actually no. They don't speak ancient Egyptian here anymore. So yeah, you'll have to pick up some Arabic. I think it's what they speak here.
Hmm. Well, we'll see.
Okay.
Wait.
There is enough uh, tourist activity here that um, they speak some Englishes and some Russian and as well.
Hmm.
That's good.
Excellent. Right. Let's head to Cairo.
Yep.
So we're walking our way there.
Okay.
Get some rooms for the night.
Let's see. There we go. All right. So, as you start to walk, because you are 10 miles outside of Cairo,
Yeah.
you because you were just in the like a random desert area,
Mhm.
you step onto what is apparently a paved road of some kind. It's got obviously sand across it, blown dirt, and so on and so forth.
Okay.
Looking
Does
around because it's early evening time, you can actually hear, you can hear and actually see the lights of a plane flying over.
Okay. Looking up, does it look like just a regular, like passenger jet or some other type of plane?
Yeah, like one that would be at an international airport,
Okay.
like the big ones.
Gotcha.
It's just there's no noise pollution out here.
But once you start walking, you, of course, like I said, you got to a paved road. Uh, then you can occasionally see cars like passing by. This is not a place you would get picked up at. Um, I wish I could get that translated into English, but whatever. But as you start to walk, you realize you're on what appears to be a main artery for what would probably be the airport that you just heard, from the plane flying over, and then occasionally hear another one coming down, like touching down somewhere.
Oh, okay.
Do these appear to be commercial airplanes
Yep.
when you say airport?
Yep.
So I didn't teleport us on a tarmac, did I?
Nope.
Okay. Thought maybe they put an airport up from the last time I was there.
Nope.
Does it seem like the airport or the airfield is relatively close to where we are?
Yeah, but
Okay.
behind you somewhere.
Oh, okay. We could head to the airfield and perhaps get a cab from there. Should make travel easier.
Sure.
Excellent.
This is just the only place I knew.
So are you gonna walk the other way, or how are you gonna do this?
If it's close enough, then we'll walk the other way to get to the airfield. See if we can.
Because right now you guys are just out in dirt,
Okay.
near a paved road, which occasionally has like a car coming back and forth.
Yeah, but you did indicate Cairo was 10 miles from our
Mhm.
starting point, so
Yeah.
seems like the airport would be a closer area of population.
Yeah.
Than Cairo right now, right? We're still miles and miles and miles from Cairo.
Well, quite possibly.
I mean, if we can see where the airfield is, and it seems to be closer than Cairo, then we
Oh,
can
100%. You can see that, because you can still see the occasional like light. You know how, like, if you're near airstrips or whatnot, you'll see the running lights and whatnot, so
Okay.
the planes can guide down. So you can totally see where that's at.
Okay.
And
The
let's head
problem
that way
is,
then.
the problem is, if this lines up much like American airports, you're probably on private property that belongs to the airport, and you're gonna have to walk through the field, which would be the quickest route to get there, but you'd basically be like getting close to the tarmacs and potentially setting off security and whatnot, because people just don't go walking out there.
Right. Okay. Does it look like Sean could teleport us to a spot where we wouldn't be on like the private property portion? We could go to like the where all the
Well,
people are going.
given that it's darker, you could probably use the method you guys used on that one dimension, where you just send Matt out, race him out a little bit far, and a little ways away, so that way Sean could target him, teleport all of you there, and then slingshot like that. You could do that tactic.
Okay.
That'd probably be the safest, so that way Heat Phantom could run up there and look around and make sure you're not directly on the tarmac, or you're not on the runway or anything, and can guide you around it, so you could possibly get in like the backside of the terminal or something to that effect and sneak in.
Okay.
It's going to be kind of corny, but we're going to have to call this the leapfrog power combo.
Right.
So I'm not going to make you role play for it. It is a little sketchy doing so, because you have to time it just right, so that way security or cameras don't pick you guys up and cause some sort of disturbance. But the benefit there is that once you get inside where people are disembarking from planes, no one's checking you for TSA. So at that point, you could just walk like right past everybody and just make like you're leaving and go into the front and blend, basically.
Yeah. All right. Cool. So once we're able to like accomplish that and start blending into the crowd, heading into the actual airport proper, um, we're headed to whatever might look like an information desk.
Oh yeah, they've certainly got one here. You are at the Cairo International Airport.
Nice. Okay.
But the inside, I mean, it's super busy. You can see that people are coming and going at at all hours. So it looks like a typical airport, but obviously it's got more of an Arabic flair.
Okay.
Right.
Then
Some signs do have some English here. English passengers or whatnot aren't uncommon.
Okay. Then yeah, just waiting in whatever line we have to get to the desk to see about just hailing a cab so that we can head where we need to. But as we're headed there, he'll or no, actually, yeah. So then, are there any? Yeah. Okay. So we're in 1995. I can't think like it's now. Not everything is going to have lots of computers everywhere. Yeah. Okay. We'll have to go to the information desk so that we can ask like about lodgings in Cairo that are near the museum.
Okay, yeah, that is not a problem. Once you walk up there, you can see you don't even have to ask anybody because there's at this time of night. They're already starting to wrap up, but they've got the little flyers, brochures, and whatnot that sit out
Okay.
like on the desk, and you can see that there are several. They're obviously advertising ones that are nearby.
Sure.
So you've got the Le Meridian Airport or Cairo Airport, which is a 5-star hotel, which is actually nearby. There is also the Radisson Blue Hotel, also nearby. So you have that option.
Any chance that there are shuttles still running for the hotels?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
we could get taken right to one.
Right.
Yeah, we could take a shuttle. Which hotel do you guys want? Do you want 5-star or?
There's the Le Passage Cairo Hotel and Casino. Also a 5-star hotel. Then there is the Novotel Cairo Airport, which is also a hotel. So you've got several to choose from nearby.
Okay. Whichever one. Let's see here. Suppose we don't need to make ourselves that obvious. So he'll look for like a hotel that's like kind of mid-range, that's close by that we can take a shuttle to, and we'll do that. And he'll pay for what he needs. Hopefully, they can use dollars. If not, then he'll try to get like dollars exchanged into.
Yeah, you'd have to go to a bank for that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Good point.
Well, don't they have the money exchanges in most airports?
No, that's a
No.
bank thing.
No, yeah.
Well, because I know that I had to do money exchange when I was at the Panamanian airport.
That may be Panama.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never seen a money exchange at the like at the Sky Harbor here or any other airport I've been to.
Okay.
But as far as mid range, there are no mid range hotels around this particular airport.
Oh, okay.
Well, it's the international airport. They're
Yeah.
putting their best foot forward, and only the best is near the terminal.
All
Okay.
right.
Because according to Google, there is multiple money exchange counters and bank kiosks at the Cairo International Airport.
Okay.
Well, now.
In 1995?
I'm sure because we had bank teller, ATMs at that time.
Oh, actually, you do have a choice here for Wait a minute. Yeah, that is a hotel. Okay, so there are some lower end hotels that are nearby. I just had to zoom really far in
Okay.
to
And
find
yes,
them. But yeah,
Google said yes in 1995 there were money exchange at the airport.
Well, so we can go. Yeah, we'll go to then one of those hotels as long as there's like a shuttle to it or it's not like crazy far. We can
sure.
head
No,
there.
no, no. All of them are actually like just off the airport for the most part.
Okay, nice.
So if you're trying to go economy, you're probably going to want to go Heliopolis Rock Residence,
Oh,
a a 3-star hotel.
that's perfect. We're doing it.
Yeah, do 3-star.
Okay.
We're tourists.
Yeah.
Isn't that what tourists do?
Not without luggage, but that's beside the point.
Yeah.
Okay, well, so you go there, or you have the shuttle take you to there. I'm not going to worry about it so much, but yeah. So I mean, Cairo may have it, but typically I've not seen like money exchanges uh,
Yeah,
at big airports. So
I know that. Yeah, I think.
if anything,
Yeah.
that would be via a bank that may have been located in the airport. Since you guys are there past business hours, you likely wouldn't have access
Yeah,
to it.
because I know they
Okay.
have it at PDX. Because when we would come back from our trips over Europe, we would exchange some of the money that we brought home
Hmm.
at the airport. So I know some do, but I just figured they were at all of them.
Well, we should be fine.
Yeah. Okay.
It is possible, if necessary, I can contact my superiors in New Prussia and have them arrange funds, I'm sure, at several occasions during the day tomorrow.
Well, that is good to know.
I don't
Isn't
even
the,
know if I have been paid my script since I have transferred to the legacy. I imagine I'm very poor, actually. So
Oh, well,
I didn't know you were poor. I didn't ever think of us as poor.
well, we can make sure that you have what you need. Obviously.
Yeah.
All right.
I would never allow you to go without.
oh, you have kept me in the hamburgers, and I am very happy for that. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna buy you your own chain.
Hold that thought. I'll be right back. Go ahead and just keep role playing or chatting.
So, do we want it two separate rooms, or do we just want all just in one room? We can see if they have a pull out that they can put in the room.
I won't need to sleep, so if there's a room with 2 beds, I can spend
Well, why
time.
don't we just do that?
Excellent.
That way, I would feel. I don't know. I would just. I'm nervous about being here because this is the place that my people most associate with. Um, I don't expect to run into anybody else except Sobek, but I mean, it would be naive to think that some of them did not come back here in their flight. Um, so staying in the room with you guys, I would feel better because I don't have Lightbringer with me to share a room with.
Perfectly fine.
I know I have a mixture of feelings. I'm excited to be here because this is history. But at the same time, I'm not allowed to have that history.
It is unfortunate that you needed to flee, that your own people were coming after you. Why were they after you at that particular time?
Well, my mom was, she was the goddess of the Nile. She was very prominent, very outspoken. Um, she did not agree with something. She didn't hesitate to voice her opinion or her thoughts. Um, it could have been that she went up in opposition to somebody, or it was the fact that she fell in love with our father and I was the result of it. And they just found an opportunity to finally do something about it.
I see. I'm sorry that that happened to you. That is clearly a devastating event. I'm glad that you managed to escape it.
Yeah, I mean, it was disappointing to come here and find out that my mother was not the only one in our father's life. Um, I mean, I don't regret finding you guys, but it was disappointing not to find our dad on the other side of that portal. I guess I just had really unrealistic um, ideas of what it would be like here. I guess I just figured, dad would be here with welcome arms and, sit up shop. And I found out I was pretty much on my own. So,
Well,
yeah.
until us at least.
Well, yeah. I mean, if it wasn't for you guys, I would still be five finger discounting everything.
Hmm.
That was the only way I knew how to survive. I couldn't have a job. I had really no identity.
Well, it's good that you're past that difficult part of your life and are now entering a different difficult part of your life. But at least it's with family.
I don't know. Like I said, I have mixed feelings. There's fear and excitement and dread, anger. I mean, part of me kind of feels like they deserved it for being so damn uppity. And I mean, they killed my mother. So I don't know which emotion to really zero in on.
Well, then perhaps don't focus on choosing a particular emotion. We simply focus on the initial goal of seeing what we can find out from your contacts about your people, to see if there are any other refugees here on Earth that perhaps you could talk to, or learning anything else. Just being open to the information.
Yeah.
And do not force an emotion. It is best to experience it without trying to create the emotion.
I'm not even too sure if I want to experience any of them. It seemed like it was easier just to be numb to it since the arrest.
Hmm.
That only works so long. We know from soldiers and the experiences they have that you can only bottle it inside for so long before it begins to leak out and affect those around you. It is best to process it as it happens so that it does not fester.
Be nice if Sobek found out who was responsible for my mom's death. But I would just think that he might have tried to contact me if he had that kind of information.
You've mentioned that he's a friend who is a Heliopolis. Was he more than simply a friend, a direct relation, or something else?
Well, like I said, he served my mother as a lesser god. Um, my relationship with him would have been more of like a sibling relationship or uncle, something like that. He was the one who got to me first after they found my mother.
So then he acted as a type of bodyguard to get you out of Heliopolis without being assassinated.
Right. And I think that might be one of the reasons why he didn't go back. He said he was going to stay on this side of things. But
Well,
we would only have contact when needed.
hmm. You never felt the need to contact him since then.
No. And I just figured that if it was important enough, he would reach out to me.
You Heliopolins process your emotions and society in an interesting way. Somewhat brutal, but interesting nonetheless.
Yeah, I suppose one could see it that way. A lot of times it's just out of necessity. One thing about our our pantheon is that they're surrounded by mysteries and rituals, and we don't operate like a lot of the other ones.
It seems that each pantheon has its own traditions, history. They are literally from different places and possibly planes of existence and dimensions. It makes sense how each would have its own unique flair.
I mean, I heard of the conflict between the Heliopolians and the Romans, um, even here on Earth.
Yes.
When they
Why
invaded.
are you here on Earth, actually?
Why
Not
am
you, but the we are discussing multiple pantheons, and I am learning that each is of a different uh, cultural placement away from Earth. So why are you all here? I've heard of now the Asgardians of that would be the Norse, now the Egyptian, that would be the Heliopolians. The woman in the cafe, um, she was from one of the South American, if I recall.
You're
yeah?
correct.
A lot of it
So why
was,
are you all here on Earth?
um, from what I understood, my people were on Earth um, for several generations. A lot of it was power, enslavement. Um, it was easy to enslave the humans, and they were worshipped, so they had people serving them willingly. You have the temples and the pyramids; those were all built for those in with the most power.
Hmm.
It's kind of the same way with the Roman and the Greek. It all has to do with power. We were, I mean, even now, I mean, I'm more powerful than your standard human.
So simply the difference in capability.
I mean,
allowed you to come here and, well, not you specifically, but Heliopolins to come here and use humans for whatever they willed.
of course. And I mean, if we were on Heliopolis right now, I would not be the strongest one. I would actually be the weakest with the weakest power. So you can imagine what they were capable of
Hmm.
if I'm one of the weakest.
Good information to have.
Yeah, somebody like Ra, you didn't turn your back on him. You did not become an enemy.
It's fascinating that these different locations, these pantheons, were born with such extraordinarily power and capability. Doesn't seem like you run into that often in our reality, except for the Dexamites.
Yeah, I
Yes,
mean, and
you
there's
you
other
said they
planet. I
were.
mean, there's other civilizations out there that my people were involved in as well. I mean, Earth was not their only stomping grounds. There
You,
were others.
I apologize for bringing this up, but you said you were driven out. But I wonder if it is perhaps because they feared you. Perhaps you are more powerful than you know.
No,
Our father is certainly.
our father
Did,
was a fascination to them. Of course, but then again, he really wasn't an Earthling. He just let everybody think he was. But they were fascinated with him, and he had powers. And people on Earth, they didn't have these kind of powers. Um, if they did, they were put in direct servitude so they could be controlled. But no, I'm not more powerful. Like I said, I'm an abomination, and I am a stain on their perfect civilization. And I'm not the only one. There's others that some got away, some were able to live because their parents were still alive. I would have probably still been there if my mother was there. She was my protection. They didn't dare. I still don't know why they killed her. I can only speculate. And the fact that they assassinated a higher god,
It
it's
likely
it's
means
just
something.
yeah, it's unheard of.
Hmm. Something to investigate if our observations and study here leads us there.
I wish I could take you guys there.
Of course, that would be extraordinarily dangerous at this point. We have no idea what's still there, if anything.
Yeah,
and
maybe
it
someday.
sounds like we may be starting to consider investigating a path that may lead to difficult emotions for you. But
That's why I have you two with me. I couldn't do this by myself. And if there are more powerful ones here, um, I'm not facing them alone. They haven't met the likes of you two. They wouldn't expect to.
That's right. Even us three, a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah,
But
nobody screws with the legacy and get away with it.
fair point. Right. Let's make sure you two get some shut eye.
Yeah,
Start fresh in the morning.
so what they decided on, Jerome, is they're just getting one room with two beds.
Okay.
Hyperion can
And
do the
yeah,
T-101 where he just stands at the window looking outside all night, making sure everyone's fine.
Okay.
and I guess first thing in the morning she would call Professor Hassan's office.
All right. Well, you guys end up settling in for the evening in just one room, sneaking someone in because typically you only have two people in the room. But it's not a big deal. In the morning, when you're arisen to the sound of morning chants call, you wake up and make your phone call. It actually goes directly to voicemail.
Mm.
You
Okay.
mean the answering machine?
Well, yes, that
95,
yeah.
Yeah.
Wait for the beep. You gotta leave your
I
name. You
think
gotta leave your
hearing
number. Wait for the beep.
I
Beep.
think hearing the call to prayer would kind of shock her a little bit. I mean, because it's not something she would expect in Egypt, because she's not used to. There's so much she still has to learn about modern Egypt, because all of her
It
knowledge
wasn't
is
Arabic back then.
yeah, and they didn't have. I mean, you went to the temples to pray to them, not
Hmm.
yeah. So I think she would find that very fascinating, and I think she would find some humor thinking, what would they think about this? That they're praying to someone named Allah and not them. Um, but yeah, so that kind of stuff would probably go through her head. But when she gets the answering machine, she will leave a message, but then she would call um, the main switchboard to find out if there's an assistant or somebody that could tell her, if Professor Hassan's out on a job or if he's expected in.
Sure. So you get to, so you call back looking to faculty, basically to speak to somebody at the faculty department, and they would just confirm with you that he should be in the office
Okay.
or in his office, anyways.
Can I set an appointment time with him?
Uh, you would have to actually call him to do something like that. So
Since
We
he's
are
out.
we are old acquaintances, but we've lost contact with each other. Do you have a number that I can contact him directly?
yeah, it's the number you already called.
Oh, all right. Um, what time?
She doesn't have access to his schedule from here. You'd have to reach out to him directly for that.
Okay, so she'll hang up and say, "Well, no. Um, perhaps we should just head to the museum and just wait for him."
So they said that he should be in today.
They said that he should be into his office. Yes.
So then he's either not there, or
Or
he
not
is
the
there.
not the
and-
museum, the university. Sorry.
So then he's either not there, or he is there and unwilling to answer his phone for some reason.
Yeah. So maybe we can just head over to the university.
Right. All right then.
So hail a cab.
Get a cab. Go to the university where the professor works.
Sure. It's across town from here, but yeah, so it's a little bit of a drive, but not a big deal.
Gives him a chance to get a little bit of sightseeing. I mean, she didn't get to do a lot of that when she first came.
Yeah, so I mean, it takes you through the heart of town. You obviously pass by through some housing districts. You also pass by some government buildings and whatnot. Then you end up getting near like the sporting club, for like, well, what we would call soccer. You see signs for the athletic stadium for equestrian sports. Then Cairo International Stadium, which is, they play most everything there, primarily footy sports. Pass by the convention center that they've got, which is actually nearby that, until eventually, after staying on the highway for a good bit, you end up coming up and around. Then you end up crossing over the Nile at one point, passing by the Cairo Tower until eventually you get to the university, which sits across from the well, I would imagine if you're local, it's beautiful. I wouldn't measure it by, not to sound smarmy, but I wouldn't measure that by my standards. Because I grew up around more green.
Right.
And it's a desert out there. But nonetheless, it is the, what is the name of this place again? It's a big garden. I saw it before. Oh, there it is. It's the Ormond Garden, which sits right across from the university.
This is a place that me in real life would love to go and see, because I really love anything to do with Egyptian history.
So there you go. You guys are dropped off at the roundabout, which is the Cairo University Garden, and then you're free to go from there.
All right.
Okay, well, head to the archaeology department.
Okay, so you head inside. Why don't you give me an intuition check to make sure you remember where to go?
Okay.
How do you want us to interact? Are we your guards or?
No, your family. I'm not gonna hide the fact that you guys are my family. If anything, I think Yellowfeet. I think that they might be relieved that I have you guys.
Right then.
And this is hopefully the professor hasn't forgotten about me, but he knows Sobek, so
So you want other people to know the rest of your family's secret identities.
no.
Okay.
That she found relatives of
Just-
her dad.
Just make sure that,
Yes, no, these are her half brothers.
okay, because they absolutely look it and sound it.
No.
An American sounding android and a European sound, very clearly.
Daddy gets around.
European.
Yeah, no.
I never asked, insofar as the televised selection series that we were in, did that raise our popularity any?
Yeah.
I think we did get that
Yep.
bump a while back.
Yep. I
Yeah.
gave you guys that popularity bump at the end of that contest.
Yeah.
I think I must have missed that.
Because I have a popularity of 66, and then non-persona is of 20.
I'll have to go back and find that.
Yeah. So yep. So walk up to his assistant.
Okay. Well, you go walking up to his office. You can see the door is partly ajar. You don't see anybody sitting at the desk where his assistant might normally be sitting.
So she'll knock, and as she pushes the door open, she'll say, Hello?
Okay, so
Is anyone here?
so you push in, or I should say, you push in and call out. So the room is long, narrow, and slightly too warm, with a high window overlooking one of the university's inner courtyards. Sunlight filters through dusty wooden shutters, striping striping the floor, the packed bookshelves, and a faded Persian rug, whose original colors have worn nearly brown. Almost every wall is covered, framed excavation photographs, hand-drawn maps of old temple sites, copies of astronomical ceilings, faculty certificates, and several shelves of battered references, or reference books in Arabic, English, French, and German. A small bronze figure of Sobek sits beside a chipped ceramic mug filled with pens, while an ancient electric fan clicks rhythmically from the corner without moving much air. Normally, Cairo's desk would be chaotic but organized. Stacks of student papers, translation notes, magnifying lenses, cotton gloves, unopened correspondence, and index cards covered in his tight handwriting. At present, however, the office has clearly been searched. Desk drawers have been pulled open and left crooked. Books have been removed from the shelves and returned in the wrong order. Several folders lie scattered across the floor, and a framed photograph has been knocked face down without breaking. His computer and ordinary valuables remain untouched, making it obvious that whoever entered was probably looking for something specific. The most notable absence in the rectangular patch of clean wood on the desk where Cairo usually keeps a locked document box is gone. There are also stranger details that an ordinary visitor might overlook, and your camera's starting to blink.
Yeah, I see that.
So you might need to turn it off and turn it back on or something, or make sure the connection's not loose, because it's really tripping out now.
Yeah, I know. Hold on. Let me pop, because the ferrets hit it. So one fell off the
Okay.
desk. So hold on.
Let's see. A thin line of white sand has been scattered beneath the door, but something has broken the line from the inside. Tiny markings have been drawn in faded ink along the underside of the windowsill. A bowl containing dried lotus petals, black salt, and a tarnished copper coin have been shoved behind a row of academic journals. On the wall above Cairo's desk hangs a reproduction of an ancient funerary text. But one column of hieroglyphs is subtly different from the published version. It is actually one of Cairo's. Looks like it is. It's hard to say, but there's without giving detail there is something different about that. And that's just notes that she can have when she gets back. Yeah, okay, fine. Cool.
All right.
This appears to be less organized than I expected a professor at a museum.
Okay. Is that better?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I could hear my computer going ding, 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 ding.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so I knew
That's supposed to be
exactly.
a pinball machine.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's just one of my ferrets, Ava. She is really, really clumsy, and even though we have put like a little ramp for her, she sometimes even falls off that ramp, and she'll hit the cords going down, and yeah, she knocked my camera wonky. So anyway, seeing all this, I mean, of course, her eye would first go to the statue of Sobek, and she actually would have started walking towards it with her hand stretched out, but then seeing the rest of the chaos around, she would stop, and kind of that urgency feeling would hit her. She would turn to her brothers and say, "Something's amiss."
So then, yeah, like walking in and taking a look at around. You're right.
She'll pick up that picture too that got knocked down to look at it.
Okay.
Looking back at the hallway we came through, or in like the opposite direction we came through, if it continued past this door, is there anything out of place in the hallway, or does it look like it was just contained in this room?
No, it looks like it's just contained in this room.
So once we step inside, Phantom will close the door behind them.
Okay.
You know, I've seen it in the movies. You know, rivals stealing from each other when they would find secrets or treasures. I didn't think it happened in real life.
I take it you didn't know of him having any enemies.
No, I mean, I thought that stuff only happened in Indiana Jones.
Well, given his relationship to you, others may be looking for other types of information related to Heliopolis or something else that he's discovered. Although we don't know where he is yet, do we? Perhaps
No.
he gathered things and left in a hurry.
Well, whatever was sitting here on this desk, it's not there now because it's the only clean spot.
Let's see what clues we can find.
She's gonna pick up some of the papers that are strewn about and look at them.
Sure. Everybody roll intuition checks.
If any of them happens to be in ancient Egyptian, she will translate it.
White feet.
Uh-oh. Green feet. I almost said, who's Fraser P bot or whatever it was. And then I realized that's the actual bot.
Right. No slash needed.
And green feet for me as well.
Okay. So Hyperion is a little bewildered. Kind of just looking around in general. Probably processing like, oh, this is not how you file things. More than
It's just
anything
too
else.
analog. It's not high tech enough for him.
Yeah.
The clues are just basic analog clues.
As they would say in Hackers, when he hands them the paperwork, he's like, ugh, hard copy. So Heat Phantom is looking around, and he ends up finding something written in chalk underneath the desk. Like
Does
there's,
it look
like there's no way you would have seen it if you weren't deliberately down on the floor, like looking for any signs of something.
Does it look hastily written, or is it something
Yes.
that somebody took time to write?
Nope, looks hastily written.
Okay. Is it something that he can read?
I'll tell you what. We'll make it odd or even to see what language it was put in. So, what are you choosing?
I'm usually an odd guy, so I'll
Yes,
go
may
with
the
odd.
odds always be with you. I stand by that.
Okay.
I've never admitted to being even. Always odd.
Okay, so it looks like it's in some form of Arabic.
And it was not with us.
I have perhaps found something significant, though it is in a language I am not familiar with. So it could be anything, but it is in a placement and hastily written. I suspect it is germane to the issue. So he'll indicate the writing under the desk.
She'll look, but of course she can't read it.
Hmm.
Hyperion will walk over, so it's like, can he just like kind of push the desk so that it's just
Yeah.
easier to see if it's okay?
100%.
Does that? Are there any like drawings, or is it really just writing?
Just writing.
Okay. So he'll look at it, memorize it, and go, if I can get access to a translation text, I can translate this.
She's going to actually start looking on the shelves for a dictionary.
Okay.
Yeah,
I mean, you
language
would
to
find one.
language.
Sure, you would find
Yes.
one.
So she's going to hand it to Hyperion. Here you go.
So he's going to flip through it, memorize what he can from it, and then parse that information to see if he can generally understand what
Give
the
me a reason
message
check.
says. Cool.
You're not going to
Okay.
gain competency in the language just yet, but you may be able to match everything up.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't have any talents that help. Okay, so reason.
I actually have archaeology as a talent.
Yellow feet.
Yellow feet. Okay, so after looking at it and lining up like how it was written, you're reasonably certain that it says not safe here. Lower archive. Bring nothing that came through, and you don't understand. You don't understand the word itself because there isn't a word for it. So it's actually kind of spelled out, and you believe that word is Tavaxian, and then the message ends with hands.
He's making a reference to vaccines, saying it's not safe here. He's referencing a lower archive. Do you know where that would be shown?
Can I use my reasoning?
Sure. You don't have anything to add to it, but just a straight
I
reason
have
check.
archaeology.
Archaeology is a skill. It is not a map.
Chat. Okay. Put that on my want list, I guess.
Oh, you want a map? I'll just go to
No.
the store.
It's a map. It's a map. It's a map. It's a map. Green.
All righty.
Yeah, she's gonna check before they leave. She's gonna check Sobek's statue, just to see if there's
Nope.
anything. No
Just a-
compartment. No nothing. Okay.
Just a statue.
Okay.
So you know how to get there. You haven't actually been to it, but you know where to go to take the stairs down to the subfloors, the basements.
Yeah. We'll go if we're not stopped by anybody.
Lead the way.
Okay.
Yes, but do be careful. There could still be something afoot about.
I wonder what the Tavaxians would want from him.
So as you go down the stairs, obviously there are guards here, so you're going to have to sneak past somehow.
Okay.
So how are you guys going to do that? Heat Phantom can obviously go temporarily invisible, so I'm not worried about him.
Does it look like there'd be a spot we could teleport past them so they wouldn't see us?
Possibly. You could give that a shot. Like
I could try my.
like teleport into the stairwell.
I can
Right.
use my teleport sense to get an estimation of where I could teleport us.
No, that's for going places you can't see to make sure that you don't like teleport into a wall.
Oh, I thought that's kind of what we were going to use. Oh,
Nope.
okay. So I guess we'll teleport to wherever Hyperion
Okay,
points.
give me an agility check real quick just to make sure you're able to teleport without being seen.
Okay. My unearthly.
Do you have a reroll?
Yeah, I have
You
a
do.
couple.
Okay,
Unearthly is what? That's
UN.
UN. I don't really get to roll this much. Green feet.
Okay, so he points out where you guys can actually see the stairwell going down, and to avoid the guards that are kind of walking around keeping an eye out, poof. So you're like in between floors and obviously out of sight currently.
Okay. Continue to sneak down. She'll actually ask Heat Fen to kind of scout ahead since he can go invisible to let us know what's on that level that we're coming down on, and if she needs to teleport again.
Well, that's going to require him to put on his outfit, correct?
Oh, do you,
Does he? Well, so the benefit of his outfit is supporting his speed, but he can use his speed without his outfit on.
Mm-hmm.
And his blending talent doesn't require his outfit. But if you want him to put his outfit on, I mean, he can pull it out of his little interdimensional bracelet thing.
Well,
whatever the name of
that's
is.
why I'm asking. So
Right.
his that thing in particular, that's where you get your invisibility from, correct?
No. Nope, that's the blending talent you gave me. You said when he kind of stands still, he can blend in with surroundings, kind of like the Predator.
So is it a talent or power?
It's a talent. Espionage blending.
Yeah. So I get what. So, all right. Yeah, I get what that's supposed to be doing. That's not an action. That's not what I had envisioned. I thought you were turning invisible because of something you had. So we're gonna have to reevaluate that.
Let's see here.
Let me go back to that's the regular folders. I don't need any of that. Come on, quit it. There we go. And where's our talent guy? There we go.
Yeah, the Huntsman tactical suit is a reinforced nanoweave stealth suit with built-in sound dampening and temperature regulation for optimal use of thermal vision is the definition behind the equipment there.
So the talent is just, so what that means is you just have a talent for blending in potentially with your surroundings, but it means your contour is still there. So it's not like Predator per se, because that's an actual invisibility that blends in with the surrounding around him. This is just the ability to stand still and not be noticed.
Yeah, the way you kind of described it originally when we were rolling it up was that if he kind of stood still, he kind of did that. Like you just didn't, your eyes passed over him if you weren't really like looking for him kind of thing. Like that odd Predator look when you know, like the thing moves through the jungle is kind of how you described it originally. But
Well, yeah, it's not quite like that. You know, if that's the takeaway you got with it, no, this is you as an individual being able to physically kind of blend in with the surrounding around you. This is not like an actual power, which that's why I was clarifying.
yeah,
This is just a
just kinda
talent to
described it
like
as-
sit in a bush and look bushy.
Yeah. Yeah, you basically said he had to
Okay.
stand still for that to really have any kind of effect. He just kind of had
Right.
to.
So your tactical suit, however, if I understand correctly, does give you limited invisibility, or no?
Not that we ever described. No.
Okay, so you cannot turn invisible. So I need you to make a stealth check.
Okay.
So that's going to be in
So
a just roll for
agility.
agility. Yep.
Right. Ouch.
Do you have a reroll?
I do not have a reroll. No.
Oh,
Okay.
no.
So
Even
you
with
guys,
an amazing agility of White Feet.
yep.
That's how my rolling works.
So you guys get down to the bottom floor, and right as Heat Phantom kind of turns a corner, as you guys are getting down on the floor, like he hits a book cart that's like up against the wall. And it's got several books on there. It looks like they're probably just returning them back to whatever departments it need to go to. But all of the books come off, just bam, and cause all kinds of noise.
Panic.
So that's when he went further down the stairs then, so he's
Yeah.
like lower than us. Okay.
Mhm.
So go ahead and takes his like sister by the hand and kind of runs on down there so that we're at least away from the guards that we already got past.
Sure.
And then when we're down there, do we see him? Like, did he topple over, or he just like knocked over?
No. It was like a solid kick by his boot.
Okay.
Sort of thing. He's not like knocked over or anything of that nature. Just he knocked over stuff.
Just ultimately not stealthy.
Okay. So then, while down there, are we seeing or hearing anybody approach?
Everybody, give me intuition checks.
Intuition. Where's my sheet?
Green
I
feet.
should have this memorized.
Green as well.
Okay.
Green. Across the board.
Super green.
Super green. Must be green. Super green. So at this point, you guys duck into what appears to be an open room. Looks like it's an office. It's just not in use. No like tag on it or anything. It has like a basic desk and a chair, and you guys kind of hunker down on the other side of the desk to stay out of sight. And then you end up seeing, a guard on the lower level outside of the door kind of go walking by and looks and notices that the books have been knocked over. So he's kind of like looking around. Oh, pardon me. Trying to make heads or tails as to what that was all about. Doesn't see you guys. And he picks up the books and puts them back on the tray. You hear him say something into his radio and keeps on walking.
Cool. So the meter above his head that shows that he doesn't care anymore, it's gone to zero.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
Got it. Nice.
Yeah. Once it was an aware eye looking, but
Right.
it kind of kept fading, and now it looks like an eye shut.
Yes.
Skyrim.
Yeah. So then looks to his siblings and in hushed tones. All right. So clearly there's at least one guard here. They have communication between them through walkie-talkies. We're obviously not supposed to be here, but of the three of us shown, have you ever actually been here with the professor?
No.
All right. Then let me see if I can attempt to map out this location and determine what we're dealing with one of my copies. I'll be.
Are you going to do the carpet shark kind of thing again?
Yes, the ground shark.
Yes, I love that.
Carpet shark.
Well, that's what we call our ferrets.
Carpet sharks.
Yeah, our rugs, you see their little eyeballs sticking up from underneath it.
So yeah, he's gonna.
I'm not sure I wish to know what this is.
The carpet, you'll see. It's quite effective.
So Hyperion will look at the ground, see what color it is, what texture, make a soft light copy, and make sure that it's. Does it seem like we're at the absolute bottom level, or does it look like there'd be a level under us?
Hard to say, but probably this is the bottom.
Okay. Then just in case there's a level underneath, and we don't want Hyperion to have like 80% of a hologram, like just kind of floating through a ceiling underneath.
Okay.
He'll kind of ball himself up in a fetal position, but make sure that there's like enough of his head above the floor so that he can see, but his texture and coloring matches the floor, and have him kind of move throughout this level to see what it looks like, map it out, and see if there are any other guards.
Okay, go ahead and give me an intuition check as you soak all that information in.
Okay, and this will be necessary. I don't have a lot of karma left, but I'll put 20 karma into this.
Okay.
Yellow feet.
Okay, so takes you a bit of time as you are hunting around, looking for, looking for the layout. So you do find where the other stairway is, but it goes up. The bottom floor is a bit big. Most of it, however, you're fortunate is that it's storage. You do end up finding a room that looks like an archive, or at least one of them, and there is somebody inside. Looks a little shaken, but seems to be working on something.
So he gathers like what he looks like, looks for a few seconds so that he gets a good picture of him. And then the actual Hyperion will create a soft light copy of what that guy looks like for these two to see and go, is this the professor?
I'm going to guess that it is Jerome.
Based on what you described, that could be him, yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's Professor Hassan.
Good. He makes that image go away. Has he pretty much then gotten the layout of this floor at
Yes.
this point, Jerome? Okay.
Yes.
Was there only that one guard?
Yes.
Okay.
Should I teleport us to that section?
We haven't actually gone over this. Does appearing through teleport make a lot of sound?
So what?
Like
Teleport.
when she arrives in her teleport, does that like make a lot of sound when she?
It does make some sound, yeah.
Okay.
It's not totally quiet, but it's not like loud either.
Okay, gotcha.
Is it like a
like a bamf?
Kind of like that. It always has been, but it just hasn't really come up a whole lot.
I would think that Professor Hassan would be accustomed to teleportation, since that is something that is common with the Heliopians.
All right, let's be
so
careful.
I'm wondering if I was just to teleport us into the room instead of outside of the room.
I'll trust you. I'll describe where it is. You teleport us there. And he goes ahead and describes generally the location, how far it is from where they're at, the direction.
Okay.
Give her the best chance.
And she's going to teleport everybody?
Yes. And I'm
okay,
gonna
roll your teleport sense.
I want to use some karma because it's only an RM30. How many do I need to spend?
RM30. If we're looking for a minimum of green, spending 35 guarantees a green.
Okay, I'll spend 35 of my personal. And it's just plus 30. Yeah, plus
Yeah, exactly.
35. Red feet.
Nice.
Okie
Take that
dokie.
off. So 109 minus 35.
Make sure to mark that off your character sheet.
Yeah, I am doing it now so I don't forget to do it later. 74. Okay, so I have 74 left. Nice. Okay, so she teleports him directly into the room that the professor's in.
Okay, so well, actually, it would be right to the door. Well, no, you could have described the inside. Yeah, that's fine. So there's a bit of a there's a bit of a flash, and then in a moment, you guys are in another in another room altogether, and there are many rows of high shelves with items and just archival type stuff littered across them. Bit of dust in here. There's a man at a desk at the far end of the room who seems to be currently working on something.
So when they get in there and she looks at him, is it the professor?
Well, his back is to you,
Oh,
so
okay. Okay, so what she's gonna do is
he has a very
she's gonna-
professorly back.
She's going to in a soft voice, she's going to say, Professor Hassan. And she will say something in ancient Egyptian, saying, please don't scream.
So he quickly turns around and sees Shone there, and he says, Miranda, what are you doing here?
Well, I came hoping to get some information from you or from Sobek. What is going on? Your office is. We went to your office and it was tore up, and we found your message under the desk. Is what is going on with the text? What are they called? Texteri? The text dudes.
What?
Dale, help me out.
The text dudes? What?
Oh no, I
I don't know
can't.
what you're talking about.
Oh shit! Now I can't remember how to pronounce the name of the species.
Oh,
that he's-
Tavaxian.
Tavaxians. Sorry. Yeah. So you wrote something about the Tavaxians.
Text dudes.
The text dudes. Yeah. Suddenly, we're dealing with an intergalactic geek squad.
Hey, we should. Hyperion could do that.
Right. Yeah, actually.
Put that on the bucket list.
Right.
Okay. So he turns and at that point he stands up. He has a pistol on him.
Oh, boy.
It's one of those German Rugers. So super reliable, fairly easy to conceal, but very old. So at this point, he turns and he looks at and he says, all I know is that somebody is looking for the information that I've been working on. I think I've discovered something that others don't want me to know.
I apologize. I did not introduce my brothers. These are my half brothers. um, to my father, of course. Um, Matt, what is Heat Phantom's name?
Vasily.
Vasily and Drosku.
Masili. Okay, this is my brother Masili
Vasily.
and
V.
Vasily.
Basili and my other brother Mark. This is Professor Hassan. He is the one that helped me escape and infiltrate into your world.
A pleasure to meet you, Professor.
And so he, he just, nods politely and, puts his gun away at this point. And he says, there aren't any of those Tavaxians nearby, are there?
And I did not see any, but I can't be for certain. What is it that you found that they want?
So he says there were, dang it. Sorry, something is right there at the tip of my nose. Um, he says there was some kind of imperial transport that went down in the desert, and the government was called in to look at it and assess the damage. And at behalf of the Tavaxian Empire, determine if there were any survivors and what happened to its crew. There were actually several survivors. There was also a passenger manifest. They had items with them. As I understand, there were members of another alien race that the Tavaxians claim or work with. I'm not fully aware of how their empire works.
She's gonna look to Mark.
Professor, do you know how long ago this transport crashed in the desert?
This actually happened a few days ago.
A few
Recently.
days ago. I wasn't aware they were still moving within orbit. Were you?
No, but they should be acting more as allies than as enemies. What is it that makes you believe, Professor, that there are Tavaxians after what you're working on?
So all this is all hard copy. It's just paperwork and whatnot. Like right now that he's been like scribbling out, trying to essentially make like recreate kind of like a information board where he's pinning stuff up, but he hasn't actually physically pinned anything up. He says that the damaged Imperial transport. I was given access to review, given some of the items that had been on the vessel as well. For some reason, they were in ancient Egyptian. He says when I reviewed when I got a translation of the of the passenger manifest, there were 11 what are called Heliopolins, which I believe is the race shown or Meredith comes from.
Yes.
There was one Rethari commercial representative. There were 2 American technicians. I'm not totally aware of what those are, but I believe they're tied to the Tavaxians. And then there was an Ubari security officer.
Did any of the Heliopolins survive?
Well, that's the interesting thing. when the vessel finally reached its destination, none of the Heliopolins were on board.
Has Sobek brought any refugees over lately?
No, I have not seen him in some time.
Something has happened to Heliopolis. From what I understand, there was an invasion. I don't know by who. I was hoping that maybe you or Sobek would know. Um, long story short, I came across some of the refugees on another planetary system. And that's when I learned of Heliopolis' demise. I was hoping that Sobek was safe and had been in contact with you.
No, I have not had any contact with any member of your race.
Which is strange because you are the contact person on this side. I wonder why the other Heliopolins did not go through you.
Well, I don't have any contact with any sort of established government of anything of that nature. Finding you and Sobek was a one-off.
I wonder how we're going to find Sobek then. I mean, I'm hoping that he's okay. I'm suspecting that the um, higher gods, something has happened to them because it seems like everyone is in chaos. There's no structure. And the Heliopolins that I came across were involved in petty crimes. It was like
Hmm.
it was like they got their just deserves for the way that they treated me and others like me. But at the same time, it was heartbreaking to see such a proud race brought down so far.
He says, "Well, I of the artifacts that were included, I was also given a faience tablet, which those of you who don't know what a faience is, it's a type of fine glazed earthenware or pottery, typically decorated with color paintings. In this case, it was a plate."
Could they see some of the
I'm not done.
oh, sorry. Sorry.
He says that after he reviewed the materials in which the Tavaxian investigators had initially believed had been an ancient Egyptian artifact, he says the language and the religious symbols are authentic. Its material composition doesn't match the typical Egyptian faience that we would normally find from our ancient past. He says he believes, given the relative newness by comparison, is that it may have been manufactured somewhere beyond Earth. And it carries a household symbol that seems to be associated with Nonet.
Could I possibly see this?
Yeah, he can show it to you. Basically, he doesn't have the item anymore. He advises that he made a copy before the returning to the Vaxians.
Okay.
He also does have a small fragment that had broken away during his examination.
Nanette was my mother. So when she looks at it, what do the writings say?
So when you end up looking at it, the description that he has, the message it ends up the message that he ended up writing down from it. It says, "The Nile flows beneath the second sun. Gather those in whom the old blood remains."
Yeah.
goodness.
And this came from Nanette.
I believe so.
So she was
But
sending a message.
it's hard to say. But the symbol was tied to a marker on it that said incomplete.
Can I have the saying again, Jerome? Please.
It's in the Facebook chat.
Oh, that's even better. So she'll translate it for Heat Phantom and Hyperion. The second son, Rod was the sun god. But who would be the second son?
He says he doesn't understand the first half of it, but he does believe that this message is linked to somebody collecting individuals related to Nanette.
So that would be me, Sobek, and anyone else connected to the Nile.
No, this is more personal.
So then it would be
so likely just tied to you.
to me.
And he also indicates as he's had more access to general information, Cairo, through his own methods, managed to trace the damaged transport's registry through other Tavaxian shipping records. And several months later, he ended up, he obviously got tied to this a while ago, but everything else came to a head here recently. Several months later, the same registry number or a deliberately copied version of it was attached to another vessel that entered the Sol system under diplomatic authorization, and that vessel transferred a sealed container to Earth. It was labeled genealogical materials belonging to a displaced royal house, and the container was delivered to Strongford, Colorado.
When was that delivery? When did that take place? Can we tell?
That actually happened a few weeks ago.
Do we happen to have an address within Strongford where it was
No.
delivered?
Okay. But something like that once you get back to Strongford, wouldn't be hard to find out.
Right. Okay.
Well, I'm wondering if this is before her murder or this is not a message from her directly.
Whatever it is, it seems to be tied to you and your house. Something seems to be happening.
So he's pulling up more notes as you guys are kind of hashing this, out in the background, what you're finding out. He says, I don't think the disappearance of this 11 individuals disappeared because of some random piracy or even ordinary trafficking. He said, he says, I think, this is a very loose working theory, I think somebody is selecting them because of their ancestry.
Do you have any ideas as to who would be doing this?
Well, Tavaxians, clearly. but I don't. But there's obviously a large chunk of this I don't understand.
So the names that you got off the registry, are they associated with higher or lesser gods?
That none of them match anything that we have in our mythology.
So it could possibly be demis because they are usually not recorded.
Of course, I'm. You would know better than I.
Yeah, because you would never find my name in any of the ancient writings. Um,
Hmm.
He says it could be that this Nile and the second son could be like a promised cultural rebirth.
well,
Perhaps,
it,
perhaps some of these individuals are coming willingly.
well, it does make sense because with Ra and Nanette, they had a very special relationship. According to tradition, Ra is born anew every morning from the primordial waters, which was the Nile, which was Nanette. So, in a way, she was almost like a surrogate mother, metaphorically. I just don't know what this. I mean, the second son could be the rebirth of Ra, but they would have never called him second, though. And not, to my knowledge, I can't think of any of his direct descendants that actually have to do with Ra, except for the Eye of Ra.
I am thinking in a different direction. Uh, when you are translating it, now this is coming from a point of view of somewhat of ignorance, but you are from a different place. Your people are from a different place, so perhaps the reference to the Nile under the second sun would be a coded reference uh, to being that the Nile runs under the second son of your people, which would be the son of Earth, because the Nile runs under this sun. But I would question whether the gathering is to bring them to where the Nile runs under the second sun, or whether it is to gather the people of the blood from the Nile under the second sun. My supposition is that the person writing the information um, used the reference Nile under the second sun for people that would only know what the second sun is, the son of Earth, because there is a river called the Nile on Earth.
Did you happen to possibly go to Nanette's temple to see if anything corresponded with what you were finding? I'm sure she would have had. I never looked it up, but I would think she would have had a temple here.
No, he shook his head and he says there's no such thing here.
She didn't have a temple here.
He says there may have been one, but we don't have any record of there being a temple or anything reminiscent of that around here. She was probably just worshipped by the waters.
Well, I was going to say if there was a temple, it would have been near the waters.
Seems they likely would have found something like that by now if it
But
was
I
prominent
also
enough.
kind of wonder because Heliopolis does mimic here on Earth. So what Egypt used to look like, it's a lot like how Heliopolis looks like. So there is a river called the Nile there as well.
then that could relate to Vasily's idea that the second sun is referencing Earth's sun rather than the first sun of Heliopolis' sun. But
Could be.
we still don't know why they would need to gather those in whom the old blood remains, unless, like what the professor is mentioning, they're trying to collect something based in the blood, something that's hereditary. Do you know of anything in your lineage that was especially important to your people?
Can I do a reasoning check?
Sure.
Okay. I keep hitting that one. I think it's the way I'm positioned. Green.
Okay. Your guess is as good as anybody else's, outside of the fact that you're the child of Electrum. I mean, that stands out.
That's true. You know, it could not just be Nanette's blood, but Electrum's. Remember, I told you they were fascinated by him. And we are the descendants of that blood.
True.
And the,
Hmm. So then,
I can't remember. Does the world know we are now children of Electrum?
Yep.
Okay. So it's not like the Tabaxians don't know we don't exist.
of course, but we also know that not every member of every race that exists is necessarily tied to their own societies. There are wanderers that leave and go amongst the different territories. We've seen that before. So I'm not entirely sure that this is something that they would be fully aware of. That ship that crashed, were there any bodies or were there any survivors that you know of, Professor?
He says it doesn't seem to be a crash per se, but it there weren't any bodies other than the records that don't seem to match. He says it's almost as if somebody's quietly removing any Heliopolins from Tavaxian records and possibly cataloging the ones that they've received.
So do you think that perhaps they're being enslaved?
Hard to say.
I would also wonder um, why they would be violating the quarantine to come here.
I don't know. It just seems like there's question after question after question, and each one leads to another question with no answers.
Well, that last one was actually answered in character. They have official relations with Earth. There's no
Yeah.
quarantine where they're concerned. That was a Galactic Union thing.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be necessarily an actual quarantine as far as the Tavaxians go. Humanity is more or less allied with them at this point.
Yes, but are the Tavaxians allowed to bring other species and cultures?
We have already met an individual that was a part of their culture. They were on the show that we were in.
Yep.
So we can either try to reach out to vaccines that we know, or, which I think we should probably do first, is head back to Strongford and see if we can do research as far as where that other delivery actually took place. Follow those breadcrumbs.
Professor, are you going to be safe here?
I should be fine for the time being, but I'm going to change up my movements.
She's going to give him the direct contact to Helios, since Helios takes their phone calls a lot.
Okay.
Will be the fastest way to reach us, no matter where we are, whether it's here or somewhere else. Um, if you are in trouble, get word to us as soon as possible. If you hear from Sobek, send him to Strongford.
He says he will, and he says, but before you go, I will say that when I touched the fragment, I received a brief dream of a golden city beneath a black sun. And in those dreams, it seemed that some of the people there entered voluntarily while others were unconscious or restrained.
Could you tell what types of people there were there? Was
They
it
all,
multicultural?
all of them
or-
looked human.
So that you could have seen something from the past. Because I was just explaining to my brothers that that's one of the things that when they came to Earth, they enslaved the people here because they were easily dominated. Though some went into servitude willingly, not everyone did.
The fragment that you touched, is there any piece of it left for us to explore?
He hands you the broken piece that he kept.
He's like, Miranda, this is of your people, it seems, or something similar. What would happen if you touched it?
She'll shrug her shoulders and then reach out and touch it. I mean, does she see any markings that anything that would be recognizable to her?
The broken piece actually had the symbol of your mother and then the word incomplete on it.
Incomplete. Okay, well she'll touch it. Actually, she'll take it in her hand. She'll hold it.
Okay. You wind up getting the same vision. You see it kind of glow with a faint blue whitish glow.
Hyperion, would you
Who?
commit? Oh, sorry, Mark. I didn't say Hyperion. Mark, can you can you you have such a good memory? Can you commit this fragment to your memory and draw it up later?
Pick it up, look at it from all sides. Memorized.
Um, Professor, we will be in touch. If I find any news, I will let you know.
Okay. And then faintly in the back of your mind, Shown, you end up hearing the words, "Don't let them complete the census."
The census?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, she'll stop. And she's going to repeat that.
Don't let them complete the census. What do you mean, Miranda?
I I don't know. I don't know what that means. Professor,
A census is typically
So,
a
I
listing
mean,
of individuals or
yeah,
she
he shrugs. He says it sounds like it's tied to the people that are missing.
don't let them complete their collection.
We just don't know what they plan to do with this collection. Not exactly.
I wonder. I wonder what it was that Mother knew that perhaps that is why they took her. She was interfering with whatever these individuals were trying to do.
Right.
And it would explain why Sobet got me out so quickly as he did. I I wasn't even at the funeral procession. We have to find Sobet.
Would we
I f-
have any way of really tracking his? Well,
He
we do
just
to a
said that he
degree.
would stay on this side of the gate.
And he is Heliopolis. Do you remember if he had any particular abilities different from yours as a Heliopolis?
Well, of course, he was higher caste than I. He could teleport. He could. He had a lot of abilities that dealt with water, kind of like close to like, Ixion. Whereas Ixion can freeze. I never saw Sobet freeze anything, but he could command water. I mean, he is a god of the Nile.
Do you have any
I th-
reason to believe he would leave Cairo or Egypt?
Only if he was forced to. Um, I want to go to the Nile. Something's telling me that we might find clues. I mean, if you are a god of the Nile, where would you go?
It
To the
depends on what
Nile.
you gain from the Nile. Why would you bother going there?
And
It,
where on the Nile, it is a vastly long river wending its way down onto the African continent.
yes, but we would only stay in the regions of the Egyptian kingdom. There would have been no sense to go further. We could take a boat ride.
Is something specifically telling you that there'd be something there for some reason?
Everything seems to be tied to the Nile with my family, my mother, Sobet, me.
Well, we are here. We
The
can't change.
Nile was the Nile was life. It took and gave life. Um, it is why so many formed the civilizations around the Nile.
All right.
You have a lot of temples that line down the Nile. Um,
Well,
the only thing I could think of being underneath the Nile would be the underworld, but that's Anubis's territory, and I've never had any dealings with him.
well, we can take a look. We're not sure what we're looking for,
No,
but
but I guess we'll find it when we find it.
all right then. Professor, thank you for your help. Again, if you ever need us, use that frequency that Miranda gave you. You'll be able to reach us and we can help you.
Of course. Well, that's where we're going to actually stop for tonight.
Yeah.
So we got about 2.5 hours in.
Nice.
All right. So Dale, RP vote.
I mean, gotta go with Shone.
Okay.
Got the star, and she's trying to figure out, piece together what's going on with her peeps.
Sure. Shelly.
You know, I'm actually going to go with Matt for him putting on his thinking cap and actually steering him back towards the Nile because I think that's a big key. So yeah, Matt.
Okay. And Matt.
Shelly, I mean, it's a character development night for her. So,
Okay. Cool.
yep, I go with character development.
Cool. So, Shelly, you pick up 200 additional karma, put that down in your character sheet.
Do you want a copy of it once I have it?
Yep. Anytime you guys update character sheets, I need copies.
Okay. I'll send it to you right now.
Our next game is actually going to be on Thursday, the 23rd, for Kingdoms of the Shattered Crown. And then after that, the next week we'll be back on track with Star Wars, Mythic Savannah, and in this game. So thank you guys all for hanging out with us tonight, and the chats, and whatnot, and the follows. And we will catch you again next time. Good night, guys.